Hello, this is Gilgamesh. I want to talk about this. This is Eric Monte. He's the man who created Good Times. What's happening? The Jeffersons and Cooley High. If it wasn't for Good Times, you wouldn't have shows like The Cosby Show. You wouldn't have A Different World. You wouldn't have Singles. You wouldn't have Friends. You wouldn't have Married with Children. You wouldn't have Roseanne. You wouldn't have Martin. You wouldn't have, all these shows. It's really responsible for a lot of that. And this man, they give the credit to Lauren. Let me bring this up because I always forget who was considered the person who created Good Times. He's not the one. They always give it to the white guy, saying that he created, Good Times, but he didn't. It was this man, right here, and there's a whole video about it, right? Yeah, it's right here. We're gonna watch this. It's 13 minutes, and it goes through the whole history of him. So I'll bring up full screen.
Chappelle once said, taking a man's livelihood is akin to killing him. If you strip away a person's ability to earn a living, eventually they will fall. In 1977, television writer Eric Monte filed a lawsuit that accused networks ABC, CBS, as well as producers Norman Lear, Bud Yorkin, and others of stealing his ideas for the sitcoms Good Times, The Jeffersons, and What's Happening. When Monte was hired as a writer for All in the Family, he created the character of George Jefferson, which of course would famously lead to its own spin-off series, The Jeffersons. That sitcom ran for 11 seasons and aired over 250 episodes, and Monte didn't receive any compensation for creating the iconic character that will make a mark in TV history. According to Monte, it was his idea for Red Fox to be the cast as the lead in Sanford & Son. Norman Lear had never heard of the nightclub comedian. It was clear that Monte's work on Norman Lear productions went far past writing a few episodes. His influence on some of the most popular sitcoms of the 1970s cannot be ignored. Good Times was co-created by Eric Monte and Mike Evans, but because the two men aren't listed as producers on the project they created, which is now the norm, they've been shut out from receiving residuals, as the families of Norman Lears and Bud Yorkin continue to profit. This continues today as Netflix prepares to release an animated reboot of Good Times, which once again the Lear estate will have involvement, but not the men who created the original stories and characters.
I want them. Where my money? Cooley had What's Happening? Oh look, who want my money? I was the first one. Where is my money?
From the start, Monte had problems getting Good Times on the air. Some of those problems stemmed from Norman Lear himself.
Think about that for a second. This man created all these shows, and he gets no credit for it because Norman Lear is a thief. It's just like, I heard that one of the songs Elvis Presley did, he didn't write it, which I think was, I forget which one, but he gets credit for the song even though it was done by someone else, some black guy. It's like, black creators get stepped on and treated like shit. It's, how things are. But going back to this whole thing, you gotta realize, this show made it possible for everything. And look, and there's Janet Jackson, and her character, she was a recurring character on the show, yes, where it turns out her mother was abusing her, so the Evans were to take her into their home. Things like that, social commentary of the time, living in the projects. Norm Lear wanted this family to only have a mother and the father not be in it, and that's why he wasn't the creator. But let's get back to this.
Which caused delays in production. One of those was Monte fighting for the Evans family to have an active father in the series. According to his daughter Cynthia, Monte was told by Lear and other producers that the world isn't ready to see a black father on television. During the early days, Monte insisted on the presence of a male figure in the Evans home. It wasn't until Esther Rolle, who played Florida Evans, joined Monte on his stance, which led to John Amos being cast as James Evans, the father of the family. After years of multiple strokes, Mr. Monte at 80 currently suffers from speech impediment, but with the help of his family was able to tell his story.
I always heard him tell this story. He was a little boy outside playing the Long Ranger with a little stick. And this white guy walks by and he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the Long Ranger." And the white guy says, "You can't be the Long Ranger. The Long Ranger." He was like, "Why? The Long Ranger is white." And he was like, So he went back and looked at TV and he noticed all his heroes did not look like him.
Yes,
And
ugly.
at that moment, a writer was born. He decided there and then, I'm going to create heroes to look like me. I want to see people that look like me on TV. And from there, Eric Monte, the writer and creator, was born.
I would for the first time meet Mr. Monte joined by his daughter Cynthia and granddaughter Jasmine in Atlanta, as they would explain their battle to honor his legacy, Norman Lear stealing the idea for Good Times, and Mr. Monte himself for the first time broke his silence on the passing of the man who infamously robbed him and his family. So is it true, Mr. Eric Monte, that he stole your idea as far as a good time?
Oh, yeah.
Monte revealed that lawyers would end up taking all of his money, which would leave him no choice but to accept a $1 million settlement, and that would end up being his final cut for the entire library of Good Times. We would confirm behind the scenes and on camera that Mr. Monte would even become homeless years later.
Oh my God.
When asked how much they think the series is worth, the family had this to say.
I think that my father is worth millions. Norman Lear took the credit for all of his works and was deemed that he produced, and he's the godfather.
And he would get credited and kind of
all
like
of
get
that.
more work.
And right now, he sits on generational wealth, and he was able to continue to make other things. And my father, when he sued, he was blacklisted, and it was metaphorically cutting off his manhood, cutting off his ability to
Messed up.
continue to create.
Upon his passing, it is reported that Lear's net worth was roughly over $210 million, close to $225 million to be exact. Both Cynthia and Jasmine would say that the family is full of writers, and blackballing Monte not only prevents him from receiving the benefits of his hard work, it also prevents the family from doing so too. If Monte wasn't blacklisted from the industry, he could have gone on to create even more projects for production companies. It's clear that Monte wasn't out of ideas. After Good Times premiered, Monte would go on to create What's Happening for ABC. Cynthia feels that Monte's removal from Hollywood robbed her family of generational wealth.
Without a doubt. Sure, we feel robbed. Like I said, he taught me watching it, and as I've grown older, about generational wealth. The opportunity for us to move in the field and create was stolen.
Cynthia would recall what her father went through after his lawsuit fight. Monte would end up using a portion of his settlement to fund a play. Unfortunately, it wasn't successful enough to turn a profit. As opportunities to write new scripts dried up, Monte soon found himself unemployed. Since that 1977 lawsuit, the only other scripts written by Monte and produced by Hollywood were a 1999 episode of The Wayans Brothers and a 2001 episode of Moesha. His daughter Cynthia even admits that for a long time Monte was bitter of the outcome.
I was a child growing up during that time and watched him. He was hurt. He was livid. He would come in raging about how they stole his money. And he went on a rampage for years. He'll talk to anybody.
Still mad money.
So he was angry. He was pissed off.
Yeah.
For a long time, my father, he was bitter.
Yeah.
And it was no conversation, but I'm sorry and let me make right.
Yeah.
For a long time, he ended up being homeless. He ended up getting on drugs. I think the drug use came from the bitter battle that we as Black people know. You get tired of fighting racism, the people being stole from. So he was angry and bitter for a long time. And I think he was looking for it. He tried to make it right. He even talks today. go get a lawyer, and that they still owe him money from that suit. He really believes
Thank you.
that. He believes that they owe him money.
Coolie High, right now, TV, all of them.
Now in 2024, Netflix is looking to release an animated reboot of Good Times.
And that shit is fucking horrible. First of all, it's extremely racist. The toddler, they say baby, but he's really a toddler because he can talk and everything, is a drug dealer. He sells crack and he's kicked out of the home. I'm not kidding. And she is an activist who has flies fly around her. Yeah, that she talks to. Yeah. This show isn't funny. I was laughing because it's so racist. First episode, I was like, I'm laughing because of the racism, not because it's funny. Like I said, I couldn't believe how racist this really is. This is an insult to the show Good Times. This is supposed to be the third generation of the Evans, and it's absolutely fucking shit. I tried watching the second. I mean, the guy literally, the father says what his grandmother would say is, damn, when she found out that her husband, who, by the way, had died when they killed off the James Evans. She went, damn, and they use that in this. And the guy sings to a fucking cockroach. Yeah. And it's like, holy crap, this show could not be more fucking racist as shit. So let's get back to this.
Times without the involvement of the co-creators. According to the Monte and Evans family, Lear only has the licensing rights that only covers the old Good Times catalog, but doesn't allow him to create anything new from it, including animation without the consent of both families, since they own the intellectual property. Upon release, the trailer received mixed reviews for its seemingly stereotypical content. Fans feel like this new version lacks the heart of the original with a lack of satire. Carl Jones, known for his work producing The Boondocks, was originally attached to the series, but walked away due to creative differences. While sitting down with me, Eric Monte and his family would watch the trailer for the new Good Times.
Oh, it's shit.
Monte would directly want to know if he was getting paid for the new series based on the characters he created.
Will he be getting paid for that cartoon?
I'll come back, yes.
Pretty much.
He needs
That's
to.
what I hear.
Yes, ma'am.
If they're gonna put, and this is the problem I have with it. If you're going to use my grandfather's name because what I feel is though they're using his audience, right? So they're saying anybody that loves Eric Monte, watch this show because his show is about to be rebooted. But to me, it's more Bebe's Kids than Good Times.
Thank you.
So what I feel is though, if they're going to release it, which I don't respect because he didn't have any creative control over that. He wasn't able to put his 2 cents on that to say, this is what I want for the imagery of black.
Oh, and I'll tell you, it's a good thing that because, the fact the guy who created the Boondocks walked away, it's obvious. Seth MacFarlane, fucking, as they said in R&B, they need to kill off this toddler baby talking shit because, Stewie is smart on Family Guy. Oh, he's also white. But for this dog shit, they have the toddler or baby, be a crack dealer who's kicked out of his own home because he's a crack dealer. What the fuck shit is that? I mean, like I said, the daughter has flies flying around her because she, apparently hasn't cleaned herself and she's on a hunger strike. And it's like, what the fuck is this racist shit? So, in a way, it's a good thing that he isn't attached to this shit. Yeah, that's true. I didn't know this thing was coming out till I saw R&B talk about this, and holy crap, it's racist. I love Good Times. I love the show. I love everything about it.
Black people, and I think, in my opinion, he wouldn't have accepted that if he was back in the day. He would not have accepted that. Growing up with my father, he was very big on no buffoonery, no stereotypical. He wanted, he fought those 2 years to have a strong black father on that show. It was a wholesome family show. And he fought against negativity and negative imagery, black imagery. Good Times and Cooley High was to show that even though, yes, some of us live in poverty and came from the projects, we still were good people. We still had, and it's just certain stereotypical imagery that my father fought against.
Yvette Nicole Brown, who voices the mother in the new Good Times reboot, would defend the series amidst the backlash of the trailer. In response to a fan that was surprised Brown was attached to the project, she said, "This show is edgier and more irreverent than the Good Times of our childhood. But
bullshit.
it's still..."
That's bullshit. I watched this first fucking episode, and it's absolutely atrocious racism. Fuck this bitch. Her to say this crap, she clearly did not watch this damn thing because there's a crack dealing toddler in the damn thing. Bitch, you clearly read this stuff and said, yeah, this is great. We'll make insult black people. You sold out to fucking a racist white guy in Seth MacFarlane. Here's a finger, bitch. You are stupid.
Still a show about family, fighting the system, and working to make things better despite where you start out in the world. That 100% lines up with my values.
What the fuck is she talking about? They have a crack dealing baby, toddler baby in the fucking show. That's the value she, and not only are they the worst type of stereotypes of black people, I mean, they get father sings to a fucking, oh my god. That bitch, clearly, she read this and said, yeah, this racism is great. And I'll say something. Robert Townsend did the movie Hollywood Shuffle, which was what he found when he came to, what they were talking about, that, the stereotypes of black people in Hollywood. Yeah, he did Hollywood Shuffle to show exactly the way they treat black people, what they wanted to play. The pimp, the drug dealer, shit like that, instead of the positive father role model, and this right here shows this fucking animated shit, and Yvette saying that, oh yeah, it lives up to my values. What is your fucking values, you damn stupid bitch? Making black people look awful? Yeah, it's a racist fucking thing. Clearly, Seth MacFarlane, fucking no shit. Yeah, and the Cleveland Brown, yeah, it took some of the same things. The the whole, stereotypical, racist qualities that, about black women and everything. Oh yeah, it shit all over black people. And not in a good way. Yeah. So let's get back to this.
This is my problem. Eric Monte was not mentioned. And it's not just Norman Lear's. He just owns licensing. My grandfather actually owns it. So the problem is he's not on any creative control. And now we're still allowing white people to mold our story. It should have been presented to the Monte and Evans family about any creative control about what do we want to talk about in this new animated series. And to my opinion, it's not. I actually lived in the hood. My grandfather actually lived in the hood. My mama actually lived in the hood. So for us, we lived in the rusties. You get what I'm saying? I'm really from Chicago. That is something of our culture, but it's always a taste of how you do it.
In regards to the brand of Good Times, Monte would explain how he didn't rely on negative black stereotypes like violence in order to get laughs. To him, Good Times and Cooley High were funny shows showing black people in a positive light.
Yeah.
Finally, in our interview, it would come down to the man who would steal Monte's life story and works that would become Good Times. Monte had this to share with his reaction.
So when Norman Lear died, my father, we called him, and we sent him the picture. He said, oh, he died. And he said, I like him. He said he gave me a chance. He the first man. He said, but he stole from me and he got money. He rich. I got no money. So that was his take. It was a bittersweet love-hate type of thing.
He's my friend. He was my friend. So my money did different. Thank you. But since my money, that's wrong.
So he was the first man to give him opportunity, but then also the first man to steal opportunity from him.
Thank you.
Now, in regards to where the family is today, they hope to continue to move forward and tell stories that line up to their family values.
We want the legacy to continue to be pushed positive imagery.
Not this Netflix shit this shit is fucking white people thinking, yeah, we're gonna make them. Oh god, it's so awful. I couldn't even get through the second episode. It's, in RBN they were talking about it. It's so fucking. It shits on black people. Like I said, I love Good Time because it was a positive message about black people. Without that, you have none of these other shows. Really, you don't have Married with Children. You don't have Roseanne. You don't have The Cosby Show. You don't have A Different World. You don't have Singles. You don't have really comedy comes, different strokes. All even white comedy shows don't exist without Brady Bunch, all that stuff. Jefferson's, Apartment 227. All those shows come out of this one. Cooley High was funny. But yeah, this is a tragedy of, the fact that he got blacklisted and they're still treating what he created. Right now they're treating it like shit. So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. My father was big on it then. We're big on it now.
Yeah.
We feel like unity, freedom of creativity,
Yeah.
unity amongst our people. We feel like positive imagery. We're not with this tearing each other. We see so much of that, tearing each other down, putting us down, killing
Hating
each
on
other,
each other,
hating on each
comparing.
other, cheating with each other. You don't see strong black families like portrayed. This one is sleeping with this one, and this one girlfriend is cheating on that one, and we're sick of the
we've
negative
lost-
narrative, and we want to change that.
When it comes down to what the family feels is owed, his daughter Cynthia would sum it up.
Yeah.
I think real restitution
Yeah.
is what was needed, and honesty about what was taken, and that is the conversation that never happened.
Regardless of the obstacles, Eric Monte continues to push ahead as he and his family have launched Eric Monte Productions and teased a variety of projects along the way. Now, if you'd like to show your support for Eric Monte, the family has confirmed you can reach out to info@ericmonteofficial.com with donations or anything that can help preserve this family's legacy. For Comedy Hype.
Yeah, yep, Eric Monte, it sucks. He still considers, his friend and gave him a break, but the guy stole from him. And he should be compensated. Same with the other guy, the guys who created the show. Norm Lear, your family should reach out and compensate them for stealing, for what you did. But I don't know if that's going to happen. This is Gilgamesh. I will talk to you later. Bye.